Mark here, and today we're going to be looking at two floodlight cameras, two flagship floodlight cameras from two different manufacturers. So the first one is by Reolink, and this is the TrackFlex floodlight camera, and the other one is the Nest Cam by Google. So both are floodlight cameras, and we're going to compare them. We're going to go over the specifications, and we're going to show you some footage from each. Now, this video is sponsored by Reolink, but like always, I'm going to show you the footage, the unedited footage, and I'm going to let you decide. There'll be footage with audio and, of course, video. So let's dive right into it, and we're going to start off with the specifications. The price of these cameras at the time of the recording of this video is $299.99 for the TrackFlex by Reolink and $379.99 for the Google Nest. Getting down to the resolution, the TrackFlex camera by Reolink has two lenses, one fixed at 4K and a zoom lens that is 1080 lines of resolution, which is the same fixed lens as the Google Nest. The sensor for the fixed lens is the same for both models. The field of view, the Google Nest does have a slight advantage, but keep in mind the Reolink is a pan and tilt camera, so that's what makes up for the field of view. The PIR sensor, of course there's three of them, one on each side and one in the center for 270 degrees on the Reolink, and one sensor that covers 110 degrees on the Google Nest. Now, of course, as I mentioned, the Reolink does have pan and tilt capabilities, where the Google Nest is a fixed camera. The AI is local video search, so this means there is not a requirement for cloud AI. You don't have to pay for any kind of subscription, whereas the Google Nest, you do have to pay a minimum of $13 a month for their subscription to get that AI cloud service. Smart detection is the same on both, with person, vehicle, and animal detection, and smart home, of course, Alexa, Google, and the Reolink does work well with Home Assistant if you're into that. They both have two-way audio, and the Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi 6 for Reolink and Wi-Fi 4, an older version, for the Google Nest floodlight camera. They both have infrared night vision when the floodlight is not on, and they are both fairly comparable. The floodlight itself with the Reolink has a 3000 lumen that is adjustable in temperature from 3000 to 6500, whereas the Google Nest is a 2400 lumen at 4K, non-adjustable. Storage capabilities for Reolink is local storage, cloud storage, as well as home hub storage, whereas the Google Nest Cam only has cloud storage. Weatherproofing for both cameras, the Reolink has an IP of 6.6, where the Google Nest has an IP of 5.4. The warranty for Reolink is 2 years, with a 1-year warranty for the Nest Cam. Now, both units are hardwired in, so you can mount this in an area where maybe you had a existing light fixture. You can disconnect your light fixture and you can actually wire this in fairly easily on both units. So we're going to get into the video comparison portion here. I'm going to show you a number of different footages that show the video for both as well as the audio. We're going to start off with the Google Nest Cam, and then we'll switch over to the Reolink TrackFlex. So that is some daylight footage. What does it look like at night with the floodlights? So here's one of a fox that actually came in and passed the camera at night, and you can get a good idea of what the floodlights look like in this kind of situation. So now we get into the video and audio portion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the fixed lens to show you a comparison. Of course, the Reolink does have the 4K resolution compared to the 1080 of the Google Nest. I will then show you a standalone of the Reolink 1080 zoom for your comparison. I'm going to box out a section. I'm holding a license plate in this video. I'm going to box out a section and zoom that in post-production so you can get an idea. If you were to zoom in, can you read the license plate, and at what distance on each camera can you do that?
Audio video test at 10 feet. Audio video test at 20 feet. Audio video test at 30 feet. Audio video test at 40 feet. Audio video test at 50 feet. Audio video test at 10 feet. Audio video test at 20 feet. Audio video test at 30 feet. Audio video test at 40 feet. Audio video test at 50 feet. Audio video test at 10 feet. Audio video test at 20 feet. Audio video test at 30 feet. Audio video test at 40 feet. Audio video test at 50 feet.
So let's talk about AI search, or what Reolink calls Reonera. So what this is a AI search engine where you can type in real language, let's say a green jacket. You hit enter and you can search offline. You don't need an online subscription, but it will go through all of your footage and find videos of a man in a green jacket. Once we click on one, we can open that up, view the footage, and there is the man in the green jacket. So let's try that with Nest. So I swiped up and typed in to the search engine, a man in a green jacket. To my surprise, no, to get help with that, you'll need to subscribe. So it is not available offline. You must have an online subscription for Google Nest. So getting back to the storage of your footage. Now with the Google Nest Cam, I did get a 30-day free trial to test out as soon as I hooked up and installed the camera. So I was able to capture and keep 30 days worth of footage. Now, just a few days ago, I had a reminder from Google, an email saying that, oh, my 30 days is up. You're now going to revert down to the regular package, the free package, which is a 3 hour of recorded footage. So I didn't want to pay the $13 a month because with Reolink, I actually don't have to do that. I can subscribe to a cloud service if I would like, but what I have is local storage on a micro SD card as well as a home hub. So I actually have my own cloud set up in the house. So my one big issue with a lot of camera companies is that they want to make that monthly fee. They want to keep generating income, so they hold a little bit back. Now, for example, if it is 1 a.m. in the morning and we are sound asleep and somebody comes and breaks into a car that the camera is covering, it will send a notification. If you have your notifications on loud enough, it may wake you up. But let's say you get up at 6 and you head off to work at 7 a.m. You go out and you find out that your window's broken. You look back in your footage to find that there is no history because it happened 3 hours prior. So that's my one big issue with that. They kind of force you to move into the $13 a month basic plan. But with Reolink, you don't have to worry about that. You can have it on your micro SD card. If somebody takes the camera, because you've got a local SD card in there, of course they're taking the footage as well. That's why it's important to have another backup, which is the cloud service. But to move one step forward, Reolink actually allows you to have your own cloud service by buying a separate unit called a hub. And that $13 a month that you would be paying for the cloud storage, you can cover the cost of your local hub with that amount. So in conclusion, I do think the Reolink TrackFlex camera does have the edge. Of course, it does have a 4K resolution, but the big thing is the cloud storage versus local storage, which can save you money in the long run. If you have any questions at all about this, please leave them down in the comments and let me know which camera you think is better. If you want to learn more about each of these cameras, I will leave a link below for both the Google Nest camera as well as the TrackFlex camera. Take care, and we hope to see you in the next video. Bye.